Welcome to BioTime. In this video, we will try to learn the anatomy and function of the different parts of the toad's respiratory system. Let's first identify what respiration is and its functions. Respiration is basically a chemical process in living organisms involving the production of energy, typically with the intake of oxygen and the release of carbon dioxide from oxidation of complex organic substances. It plays an important role in maintaining the body's homeostasis and regulating blood pH or acid-base balance through gas exchange. Unlike birds and mammals, amphibians like toads are cold-blooded and do not use up energy in keeping the body's temperature constant. Therefore, they do not need as much as oxygen as we do. Unlike humans, toads breathe through their lungs, through their skin, or by using gills when they are still tadpoles. The toad's respiration through lungs is known as the pulmonary respiration or ventilation. The toad breathes through lungs while on land or when it's floating on the surface of the water. Now let us know the parts of its respiratory tract and its functions, starting off with the larynx. It has a round or ovoid structure with cartilaginous wall. This houses the vocal folds, manipulating pitch and volume. It also regulates the passage of air to the lungs and food to the esophagus. Next, we have the glottis, a slit opening of the larynx that controls airflow in and out of the respiratory passages and closes off the trachea when swallowing. Toads also have vocal cords, a pair of delicate white bands each located at the side of the glottis, which produces sound when it vibrates as the air is forced backward and forward between the lungs and the vocal sacs. So the toad's lungs appear to be a pair of big thin-walled sacs located at the anterior portion of the pleuroperitoneal cavity, which serves as a respiratory surface. Then we have the visceral pleura, which is the thin outermost covering of the lungs lined by simple squamous epithelium. It secretes fluid between the lungs and the ribcage to provide lubrication and cushioning during the lungs movement in inhalation and exhalation. Next, we have the bronchi, a pair of short tubes from the larynx that each goes to the lungs. It serves as a passage of air from the larynx to the lungs and vice versa. Lastly, we have the alveoli, which are small thin-walled chambers richly supplied with blood capillaries, which serve as site for gas exchange. Since toads do not need as much as oxygen as humans, they don't have as many alveoli either. The way toads use their lungs is different from humans too. Humans have diaphragm beneath their lungs that causes air to rush in and out, while toads do not have diaphragm, but they move their mouth to force air into and out of the lungs. Moving on, the toad's respiration through skin is known as cutaneous respiration. The toad's skin is very thin and is loosely attached to its body. It is also richly supplied with blood capillaries. When in water, the oxygen carried by it is diffused to the capillaries, and the carbon dioxide in blood diffuses out. When the toad is out of the water, mucus glands in the skin keep the toad moist, which helps absorb dissolved oxygen from the air. This is the reason why most amphibians need to live in moist places where there's water nearby. And that's all for the anatomy and function of the toad's respiratory system. Leave a like and hit the subscription box below.